looking forward to being the best version of myself and just helping our team win games next year.
Miami won 6 of his 9 starts, but Tagovailoa often came up short when he needed to stretch the field and sometimes seemed befuddled by NFL defenses. He was asked recently whether he's certain about Miami's commitment to him as the team's franchise quarterback.
In my mind and in my heart, I'd like to hope so. With the way things went last year, you always got to come out wanting to prove yourself to be better and to, want to do better.
Chris Mortensen reported 3 weeks ago that Miami is near the top of Deshaun Watson's preferred list of potential trade destinations, and the Dolphins may be one of the few clubs with the draft capital to make it happen. Tua says he hadn't heard those Watson rumors until his agent told him about them, adding that no one from the Dolphins has even talked with him about trades, only about getting better in his second season. I'm Mark Schwartz, ESPN.
Thank you, Mark. Dan Orlovsky joining us now from Tampa, from his set on the beach. Probably has his toes in the sand, but I'm not bitter. It's okay. Dan, let's talk some football. Have you seen enough of Tua to know that he will not reach a Deshaun Watson level?
Yeah, Jay, you guys enjoy that snow up there. No, we can't say that we haven't seen enough out of Tua yet. We've seen Tua in 10 games, right? What we know is Deshaun Watson is a quarterback that you can win a championship with. That's indisputable. And we also believe that Tua can be a very, very good quarterback. But Tua hasn't had the opportunity that Deshaun has. He hasn't had the experience in the NFL. He hasn't had some of the people around him. I know this. Tua had many moments this year that he looked capable, that he looked like he was going to be a very good pro. Were there ups and downs? Were there difficult moments? Of course, he's a rookie quarterback playing against a subpar offensive line with subpar weapons around him. Most rookies, if not every rookie quarterback, is going to struggle in that environment. So the question the Dolphins have to ask is, did he show enough for us to not try or not want to chase Deshaun Watson that he can take us to a Super Bowl? Again, you're not looking for a guy in the NFL that can be really good at that position, especially with Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen and some of the vets in the NFC. You're looking for a guy that you can say, that's the guy that can take us to a Super Bowl. Do you have the creativity, the ability to go above the X's and O's? Tua hasn't answered those questions, but he also hasn't been asked them. He hasn't had the opportunity to yet. And so I think at the end of the day, if the Dolphins decide to chase Deshaun Watson, it's that because they think they can win a Super Bowl very quickly. And if they choose not to, they think that they're comfortable with Tua going to be very good right now and the potential to be great in the future.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting story either way. Dan, back in a moment. I'll have you know it was 34 degrees today and the snow's melting. So there, Dan.
Sun was out, Dan.
Yeah.
Take that.
Yeah.
I'm going to chill here.
The Chiefs continue to practice in Kansas City as they wrap up the week before traveling to Tampa on Saturday for Sunday's Super Bowl against the Bucs. While Tom Brady's legacy is already set in stone, Patrick Mahomes has an opportunity to win back-to-back titles at the age of 25. Andy Reid asked about that today.
Your mind is on things that are going to directly affect the game at this time, and you want to try to maximize that, and that's what he does. So I don't think he's probably thinking too much about the other part. I'm sure he loves the challenge of playing against Tampa Bay. They're a good football team, and Tom Brady's a friend of his. So, I mean, I think that and somebody he looks up to. So I think that's kind of a neat deal for him. But I think when you really get down to what he's thinking about, and that's just making sure he's got the game plan down and ready to go.
Sports Center on the Road is presented by Rocket Mortgage. And let's go back to the Tampa area. And Diana Rossini is covering the Chiefs this week and joins us now with the beautiful sunset behind her. Diana, how are the final preparations shaping up for the Chiefs in Kansas City right now?
Well, first of all, it's a green screen. I don't want to make you feel bad, but the sun was out today here in St. Beach. But unfortunately for Kansas City, they dealt with snow today, Kev. So what they did was they moved practice indoors, and what they did was they pumped in heat in the vents. That way, gave it a little bit of a Tampa Bay feel so they can get prepared for Sunday's temperature. But here's my biggest takeaway from talking to these players today. They feel prepared and ready. Take a listen to the Chiefs today.
I think everyone's dialed in. I honestly do. I think from the scout team, from the special team guys, I think everyone is dialed in and focused on the task at hand.
What's crazy is I haven't seen Pat, throw dots like this at practice. Like he's been throwing crazy dots. Like he throw dots, but the dots he been throwing in practice lately has been crazy. I ain't even gonna count. So I mean, I'm pretty fired up. So you gotta wait and see, man. I gotta rub my hands together. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, just think about that. Patrick Mahomes looks that good through the eyes of Tyreek Hill right now. He's just throwing dots, not darts. I want to make sure we're clear there. But guys, this is it. We're not hearing from the Kansas City Chiefs anymore. Today was the last day of media availability. They've got 2 more practices, and then it's hello Tampa Bay. It's time to play some football.
Okay, and by the way, keep this in mind. You mentioned the weather there, and I'm pumping in the heat. 72 degrees is the expected temperature in Tampa on Sunday for this game. Diana Rossini is covering the Chiefs this week.
Kevin, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell held his traditional State of the Football Union ahead of the Super Bowl and admitted that this was not a normal season. From the pandemic to minority coaching hiring, the league faced complex challenges, he said. And while he added that not as many minority coaches were hired as expected, 3 minority GMs were. And somehow a season was played under the shadow of COVID-19.
There were doubters, obviously. There were people that didn't believe we could do it. Obviously, we had a lot of unknowns ourselves. But we believed that staying on schedule and working towards trying to get 256 games done, as we sort of say shorthand, avoid the asterisk. And I think we were able to do that, but we still got a few days left here, so we're focused on making sure we finish out strong.
From August the 1st to January 30th, the NFL administered nearly 1 million COVID-19 tests and confirmed 262 positive cases among players. After the preseason was canceled in its entirety, 18 games were rescheduled as each team played a full regular season slate. Mike and Tony now with more on this.
All right, Wilbon, with the Super Bowl on Sunday, what grade would you give the NFL for its handling of this season?
Solid A, Tony. I mean, like the other sports. I mean, basketball, so the NBA, the NHL, the WNBA, everybody, MLS, they all get an A because they did not have a catastrophe. Major League Baseball, I would actually probably give an A+. The only thing preventing me from doing that, they had that, NFL, they had that glitch in the middle of the season where you didn't know where certain games were and we went from Monday to Tuesday to Wednesday. That's nitpicky. The NFL did a marvelous job under incredible pressure. And each club individually had to put some pressure on its players to sort of live a certain way when they're young. A great many of them single and carefree. I don't want to be on lockdown the whole year, but they convinced them to without a bubble. So the NFL gets an A from me.
Yeah, I'm going to give them an A+. I'm going to give everybody at least an A because every single league had to juggle its schedule around, and they reached the point where they crowned a champion. So I could give them all A+. What is more impressive to me about the NFL, it's fewer games, I grant you, but everybody played the same amount of games. I mean, they somehow made that happen, however they made it happen, and they are getting to a championship. So we are agreed in this. All the leagues did great. They all did great. I never thought they'd all reach a champion.
Cheers to everybody. That's it. We're done. Back to you.
Gentlemen, thank you. Still ahead, more live coverage from Tampa with the essential guide to Super Bowl 55, featuring the Bucs' blueprint to slowing down Patrick Mahomes and reigning champion Chiefs. Plus, at the virtual quarter pole of the NBA season, examining LeBron and the Lakers' biggest Western Conference roadblocks in the quest for a championship repeat. Also, the NBA eyeing a midseason All-Star game, The Jump's Rachel Nichols weighs in on the reasons behind the league's plan.